What goes up must come down. And no car shows this better than the Porsche 991.2 GT3. In 2021, these special track cars sold for $260,000. Dealers sold them as fast as they received them, and fans begged to buy one. But today, I see perfect examples sitting unsold for months at $190,000. That's a 70% drop. Some might call that a standard market change. Others might call it a panic. But what if I told you this significant price drop isn't what most people think? And what if this surprise market change is the perfect chance Porsche fans have been waiting for? The 2017 to 2019 Porsche 911 GT3, called the 991.2, perfectly balances Porsche's growth. It's the perfect mix of old school and new tech. The right blend of trackability and street comfort. But something significant has happened to these cars. The touring and regular winged versions have seen their prices fall from their peaks. Today, I'll show you exactly why this is happening, where I think prices are headed, and if this is finally your chance to own one of Porsche's best driving machines. Before we dive into the market details, you're probably wondering why GT3 prices went so high in the first place. Is this just a normal price drop or something more serious? Will prices keep falling, or is this the bottom? And most importantly, is this the time to buy, or should you wait? I've spent the last 3 months studying every 991.2 GT3 sale in North America. I've talked with dealers, owners, and Porsche experts to find the real story behind this market shift. And what I've found might surprise you. But before I reveal the 3 main things driving this price drop, let me quickly explain what makes the 991.2 GT3 so unique. The 991.2 GT3 isn't just any 911. It's the last of what many consider the perfectly sized GT cars from Porsche. It has a naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine, making 500 horsepower and revving up to an incredible 9,000 RPM. You can get it with a 6-speed manual or super-fast PDK automatic transmission. It goes from 0 to 60 in as little as 3.2 seconds. But numbers don't tell the whole story. What makes this car truly special is how it delivers that performance. The sound of that engine, the perfect steering feel. The confidence it gives you is on track while still usable on regular roads. Porsche made about 5,500 to 6,000 of these cars worldwide between 2017 and 2019. In North America, that means about 2,793 vehicles, with around 755 being the popular touring versions. That's much more than older GT3 models, but still rare enough to create the buying rush we saw. Now, let's look at what's really happening to this market. The first and most obvious reason is simply supply and demand. Right now, there are 318 991.2 GT3s for sale in North America alone. That's more than 11% of all North American GT3s up for sale simultaneously. To put that in perspective, during the peak market in 2021, you'd see fewer than 50 for sale at any time. Remember when I said this wasn't what most people think? Here's the first big reveal. The 991.2 GT3 wasn't as limited as Porsche led buyers to believe. When these cars were new, dealers created fake scarcity. They'd tell customers, "We only got 3 vehicles for the entire year." Porsche was making these cars in record numbers compared to older GT models. This has been confirmed on forums like Renlist, where insiders have known for years that the 991.2 GT3 had nearly twice the production of the previous generation. And now, as these cars reach 6 to 8 years old, original owners are selling, flooding the market with supply. But more supply is only part of the story. The second major factor is the 992 GT3. Released in 2021 and updated in late 2024, the 992 is the newest and most advanced in Porsche's GT lineup. While die-hard fans might argue about which is better, the market doesn't lie. New buyers are moving toward the newer model with its updated technology. The 992 has more power, better aerodynamics, and newer tech. But here's what's interesting. It's not necessarily a better driving experience. Many reviewers and owners actually prefer the feel and size of the 991.2. A recent review from Piston Heads says that the 991.2 gives a more connected driving experience because of its slightly smaller size and better steering feel. But what people think drives markets, and the fact is that the newer model has pulled buyers away from the 991.2, helping cause the price drop. The third factor is the most important. We're seeing a market correction, not a collapse. The truth is that 991.2 GT3 prices were artificially high. At their peak of $260,000, these cars sold for nearly double their original cost of approximately $145,000. A clear pattern appears when we look at GT3 prices alongside broader economic factors. The price surge happened during low interest rates, pandemic money, and a general boom in collector car values. Now that those conditions have returned to normal, so have GT3 prices. But here's what most analysts are missing. The current prices of $190,000 to $220,000 still show a hefty premium over the original price. This tells us something important. These cars are still highly wanted and holding substantial value, just not at the inflated levels we saw at the peak. In fact, according to data from Octo Classic, prices for low-mileage, perfectly optioned examples have risen slightly in recent months. This shows that the market is becoming more selective, not collapsing. So the big question is this the bottom, or will prices continue to fall? Based on my historical Porsche GT car trends analysis, we're approaching the floor for 991.2 GT3 values. Looking at previous generations like the 997 GT3, we can see a similar pattern. An initial price drop followed by a stable period and then a long-term value increase once the model becomes recognized as a classic. The 991.2 GT3 has three factors working in its favor for long-term value. It's the last GT3 of its size class before the 992 grew larger. It offers PDK and manual options, appealing to all enthusiasts. Its naturally aspirated engine is becoming increasingly rare in the performance car world. Let's talk about which options matter most for value. Touring models are worth about 8 to 12% more. Manual transmission adds approximately 5 to 7% in value. Rare color combinations can add 10 to 15%. Low mileage under 10,000 adds 10 to 20% compared to higher mileage examples. Depending on options, prices will stabilize in the $180,000 to $220,000 range, with exceptional examples worth more than that range. In the long term, well-kept examples should increase in value within 2 to 3 years as the market recognizes their importance. So, is this the time to buy? Here's my honest take. If you're buying mainly as an investment with a 1 to 2 year plan, I'd suggest waiting another 6 months. We may see prices drop another 5 to 10% before hitting bottom. However, if you're buying to enjoy the car for 3+ years, this is the time to make your move. You're getting one of Porsche's most excellent driver's cars at a considerable discount from peak prices. Here's what to look for when shopping. First, service history. Make sure all maintenance is documented, especially the 18 to 20,000 mile primary service. Second, options. Focus on desirable specs that will hold value. Rare colors, manual transmission, and sport chrono package. Third, condition. Small rock chips and wear are okay, but accident history is a major red flag. Fourth, warranty. Many examples still have factory warranties, or look for CPO examples. Finally, documentation. Original window sticker, paperwork, and complete key sets add value. If you drive it regularly, remember to budget about $2,500 to $3,500 each year for maintenance. These are strong engines but still high-performance machines that need proper care. I've had the chance to drive the 991.2 GT3 and the newer 992 GT3 many times. While the 992 is technically the faster, more capable car, something magical about the 991.2 is hard to explain. Its size is perfect. The steering feel is more connected. The sound of that 4.0-liter engine at 9,000 RPM stays with you forever. In a world where cars are becoming more digital, isolated, and eventually electric, the 991.2 GT3 represents the last actual golden age of the naturally aspirated, driver-focused sports car. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, there are faster cars for the money, but few, if any, deliver the same emotional experience. The 991.2 GT3 market is experiencing its first significant correction, bringing what was once an unreachable dream car within reach for more enthusiasts. This isn't a crash, it's a normalization. The truly special cars are finding their true market value. Whether prices have truly bottomed out remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, at current values, you're getting one of the greatest driver's cars ever made at a significant discount from its peak. Next month, I'll examine which specific configurations of the 991.2 GT3 are holding their value best, using data from actual recent sales. Have you been watching the GT3 market? Are you waiting to buy, or do you think prices will drop further? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more Porsche market insights. I cover everything from investment-grade classics to the latest GT cars. Until next time, remember, sometimes market panic creates the perfect opportunity for fans who know where to look.